Hey everybody, Benjamin Magnus here, and this is going to be my very first video trying to start the restoration process, at least, on my Martini Peabody Gahendra rifle. I'll put up some pictures I took before I did anything right now in this video so you can see what we're working with. I took some good quality pictures of all the markings and things like that before I did anything. So this is, I don't exactly have a good setup for this. I don't have a lot of room, and I don't have all of the right tools, but I'm working with what I got right now. So, step one, and here we go. Try to get the camera to focus on this. Is going to be removing the front and back barrel bands here. Oh, it does not want to focus. Wants to focus on the towel there. Come on. Put my hand in there. Maybe it'll... Yeah, here we go. Now, this thing looks like it's really rough right now. I did try to clean up just a tiny little bit of it, and a lot of this schmutz on there comes off really easily. So that pin right there, and I don't need to, but this screw right here for the front swing swivel, I'm going to be the first things that I'm going to take off, and then the next thing is going to be and you can see this is the only major damage I found so far is this area right here. You can see that there's a huge crack on the handguard here, and I think if I twist it around, where is it? There's another crack. This part right here is the worst by far. The actual here, I'll bring it over. The actual stock is solid. There's no major issues. You could see the maker's marks or some cartouches. I don't know what that says. You can see that right there. And I do apologize. Hopefully in the future, these videos will be of better quality as I kind of figure out what I'm doing here. I've just got my YouTube set up and my Twitch set up, and I'm desperately trying to figure out what's the best way of recording all this stuff. And right now, I just turned the camera on, and I'm putting stuff in front of it, and we're going to see how this works out. Oh, and there it is. I knew there was another rough part. Right there. There's a pretty good crack right there. So, like I said, the front barrel band has to come off, and then the rear barrel band right here. And I did just kind of wash this area off a little bit so I can see a little bit of what I'm doing. You can see right here. That little tiny thing right there. That's the pin I got to take out. That thing right there. Just to see if it would, but by some miracle, I wanted to see if they would come out easily. So I just kind of give them a quick wash, with some solvent and, just get the yak grease off of them, and gave it a little tap with, my punch. You can see it actually, I think on this side. I think this is the side I was working on. Gotta get this camera to focus better. Yeah, you can clearly see it right there. I gave it a little tap, and it, knocked off the schmutz. You can see the metal there. Neither of them moved the slightest bit. I don't think I'm going to have as much trouble with this one. If we look very carefully on this side here, you can see that the other side is already poking out right here. Ever so slightly. There's maybe, I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch there. So I might be, if I want to, I'm going to try to get it out with a punch first, but because it's sticking out a little bit there, I might be able to just grab it with a pair of pliers and yank the bad boy out. But we're not going to do that. You can see this right here. This is the cleaning rod. That is not coming out easily either. The front end is loose, but it's pretty tight right around here. There's probably some rust in there. So it'll probably I think it'll come out easily once I get the barrel band off. You can see the head of the screw right there. I cleaned it out a little bit, just scrubbed it off a little bit on the barrel band. I don't think I need to loosen that up to actually get this thing off. It should pop off as soon as I take off that pin with a little bit of the right application of force, but I'm not sure. So like I said, we're at the front of the rifle here, and this is what's got to come off. I cleaned out the screw right here, and I cleaned out just around the edges. I just took a little pick. Let me see if I got it right here. Took a little pick, and I just cleaned out the kind of the area around. I'm just trying to get some of that coagulated 130-ish-year-old yak grease out of there. And that stuff comes out really easily. It's not too much of a problem. And you can see that the metal cleans up pretty nicely. That was just 5 seconds with a soft like nylon brush, and picking some crap out. Unfortunately, with the punches, it's not moving at all. I don't want to damage anything, and especially this early in the process. So I was hoping to get a lot of progress done today in disassembling this thing, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Just hammering on it just a couple times with the punches, trying to get that out of all sorts of schmutz and you know, there's tiny little pieces of fabric that I think came from the original thingy, not the sling. You can't think of words, and there's all sorts of those all over. I actually think that the big crack down here, hang on, may have been a very small crack, but that someone got stuck on, because right here, let's see if we can get it. Yeah, right there. There's a bit of linen, it looks like, that's stuck on there. I wonder if someone got, there was like a little bit up front on the, right up here that someone got the sling stuck on and ripped the thing open. But I mean, wood damage right there. Now that I look, it's not as bad as it looked originally, right here. I thought it looked a lot worse. There was a bunch of dry rot and stuff like that in it, but a couple hammers. I'm kind of rambling at this point because there's not too much to talk about yet. Kind of rambling. A bunch of schmutz just came out of there, and it as bad as it looks right now, it looked worse before. I can see nice clean wood in there. Depending on how this thing looks when I get it all apart, I might be able to fix this without too much issue with some tender love and care. But like I said, this is the part we're working on right now. I don't want to force the pin up here. I was really hoping that I would get lucky and it would just pop out with a little bit of force. And yeah, with a little bit of force, and it just won't. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take that pick and I'm going to try to work out some of that like goop in there. Same thing down here. I just want to get, if I could get one screw out, even if it was like this one on the sling swivel that doesn't actually, is not actually necessary for the disassembly, I'd be happy with that if I could just get something to move. So what we're going to be doing is for the next couple days probably, I'm going to take my penetrating oil and I'm going to pop it on here and in there and back on the other side down this way on the other pin, and while I'm at it, I'll probably hit up most of the screws and whatnot on the action here. They don't look too bad. They look like they're in relatively good condition. I'm sure they're locked up, and I'm sure they're going to be tough. But I'm going to hit those all with penetrating oil, and day after day after day, and every single day I'm going to try to move that pin a little bit and see how long it takes. If I cannot get it to move in a couple days, 5, 6, 7 days or something like that, what I'm thinking might be the best thing to do is to buy like a little butane torch or something like that and apply some gentle heat. I've heard that the amount of heat needed to expand the metal to kind of break it free is not that high, and that just like a hair dryer applied to it for a while could be enough to loosen things up. But like I said, I'm going to hit it with the penetrating oil and see if we can't get that loosened up. And hopefully we'll have some progress in a couple days, because I cannot wait to get this thing cleaned off so that it doesn't smell like old yak grease in my office. But it's going to be a little while. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll have some more updates soon.